Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and attention coach, Jeff Copper. I'm here to talk today about procrastination and a tool that might help you a little bit. Before we get into the content, I want to make you aware of children and adults with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, better known as CHAD. You can go to their website to get evidence-based and evidence-informed information by just going to chadd.org. Also, we'd like to make you aware of our sister station, Attention Talk Radio, where you can access at AttentionTalkVideo.com. So if you've listened to my channel over a period of time, sometimes overtly, sometimes covertly, I've talked about the fact that I find that 80%, 70 to 80% of procrastination is rooted in ambiguity. So if you're out there on the internet and you're taking these tips like chunk it down, do it in sprints, give yourself breaks, and that stuff's not working for you, they're interesting tools, but they get lost in the shuffle because at the heart of it, a lot of times, is ambiguity. And so one of the things that I encourage people, I do in my practice, is when you're not doing something, you ask yourself a simple question, and that is, what's hard? It's a very simple question. And you have to be honest with yourself. This requires a little bit of self-awareness, but it's an incredible diagnostic tool. Like cleaning the kitchen is really, really hard because it's really, really boring. Or what's hard about scheduling doctor's appointments is I don't know how, I have to sit on hold for a long time, and I have to listen for their windows, and then I have to figure out when I'm available, and then I have to figure out how I'm going to get there, and logistically, that's hard. There's one guy I was talking to that was procrastinating. He needed to write a procedure manual for a thing. He says, it's really, really hard because I've got to stop and kind of act out the procedure and then write it down. Then I forget where I am, and so I have a hard time kind of bouncing back and forth, etc. If you begin to identify what it is that's hard or what it is that's ambiguous, you can then turn and say, whoa, what would be easy? Like, oh my God, the dishes would really be easy if I had paper plates, or if I didn't have to dry them, or if I did it with somebody else. Or the guy with the procedure thing, I said, would be easy. Well, it'd be great if I just saw a narrative and we actually put up a video of him and he did it, videotaped himself going through the procedure and talking about what he was doing. So then he got done. He just had to play the video and stop and write it down as it went. Made it very much easier. I know this sounds kind of strange, but it's just a simple diagnostic tool, because too often people say, I have a goal, and they plan to take care of it, but they never identify the obstacles that are in the way, often, which is boredom or ambiguity, or writing a paper, I don't really know what to say. Well, if you don't know what to say, then you don't write. So what do you do to make it easier to figure that stuff out? You might talk to somebody. So step one is to pause and say what's hard and be honest with yourself. And by the way, boring is hard for people with ADHD. And then go, well, what would be the easy way of doing that? I'd like to highlight, for me, the easy way of, like these shows, right? I'm doing this right now. I'm going to get done. I'm just going to dictate a title and a stream of consciousness and some social media posts, and I'm going to give it to some people to kind of clean it up. It's easier for me just to dictate it really easy than it is to write it all out. Those are like simple type things. Sometimes you have to look at unique ways of doing stuff. So anyway, I hope this has inspired you to pause and identify what's difficult and problem solve for what's difficult. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to procrastinate because you haven't gotten to the core of the problem. Anyway, hope this makes some sense. If you're new to our channel, please hit subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. We release a tip like this each week, or an insight, which is designed to kind of help you kind of move forward. So with that, comments. We love comments. What are your thoughts on this? Do you identify with it? Do you disagree with us, or we're good with that? It sparks really good conversation. So please leave a comment. And with that, we hope you've got something out of this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.